Welcome to the University of Iowa. What a glorious vision you all are. We are absolutely delighted to have you here today. What better way to start our afternoon than with a little bit of Dixieland jazz, a little bit of John Philip Sousa. It's a good Friday afternoon in Iowa City. We are so pleased to have everyone here to help us celebrate the dedication of the Fraternal Order of Eagles Diabetes Research Center at the University of Iowa. Let's give it up. We have been looking forward to this day for a long, long time and are delighted to have so many of you with us from around Iowa and across the United States and Canada. We are truly privileged to have you here today. Helping us mark this afternoon's very special occasion are a number of esteemed speakers and guests, and I'd like to just run through their names right now so you know who is part of this beautiful crowd. Grand Worthy President Mike Lagervall from the Fraternal Order of Eagles. Mike, thank you. Grand Madam President Mary Myers. Grand Airy Chairman of the Board Larry Hanshaw. Love the jacket. Grand Auxiliary Chairman of the Board Gene Kerr. Entertainer Tony Orlando. And comedian and actor Tom Parks. From the University of Iowa, I'll introduce these three folks and ask them to stand, and we'll applaud all three of them at the same time. Bob Downer from the Board of Regents, State of Iowa. University of Iowa President Sally Mason and her husband Dr. Kenneth Mason. University of Iowa Vice President for Medical Affairs Jean Robillard. Please thank them. We're delighted also to have elected officials with us this afternoon. Again, three people from the Iowa legislature. Please welcome Senator Joe Bolcom, Senator Bob Dvorsky, and Representative Mary Masher. And representing our congressional delegation from Senator Tom Harkin's office, Tom Larkin, and from Congressman Loebsack's office, Stephen Poldosfer. I'd like to also have the opportunity to just say how thrilled we are that so many Eagles are here with us today from across this continent, really. You are the people whose vision has made this possible. You are the people whose generosity is making this possible, and we are absolutely here to join together in helping transform diabetes treatment and research. You join a much larger group of loyal alumni and friends and grateful patients of the University of Iowa whose private vital support helps make a difference on this campus in this Carver College of Medicine each and every day. Now it's a pleasure for me to welcome to the podium someone who works tirelessly on behalf of the University of Iowa. Please join me in welcoming the 20th President of the University of Iowa, Sally Mason.
Thank you, Lynette. It is truly magnificent to look out on this audience and see so many actually familiar faces now. It's been great, obviously, over the last several years to get to know the Eagles. It's been terrific to see what this partnership is creating. And I think you're going to be very, very pleased in the future, to say the very least. Thank you, Lynette. Thank you all for joining us today for this very historic and inspiring moment. We are honored to have some very special guests with us this afternoon, as you just heard, who are going to share some very special words. And we're going to start today with representatives from the offices of our Senator Tom Harkin and Representative Dave Loebsack's office as well. And they will each read letters from these members of our federal delegation. I'm going to start from Senator Tom Harkin's office. Please welcome Mr. Tom Larkin.
Good afternoon. Dear friends, as a proud member of the Dubuque Area 568, I send greetings to all my fellow Eagle members who are gathered here for the official naming of the Fraternal Order of Eagles Diabetes Research Center at the University of Iowa. I congratulate you for your truly extraordinary generosity in making this $25 million 5-year commitment to the University of Iowa to establish a major research center dedicated to finding the cure for diabetes. For more than a century, Eagle members nationwide have worked hard to build better families and communities, to assist neglected and abused children, and to support research into cures for diabetes, heart disease, cancer, and other life-threatening diseases. This new center is the latest in a long line of noble Eagle projects and will play a critical role in sparing Americans in the future from the devastating effects of diabetes. It will help us create a true wellness society in the United States, something I have fought for my entire career. Martin Luther King Jr. said, "Life's most urgent and persistent question is, what are you doing for others?" Eagle members nationwide have answered this question in very many powerful ways, including by funding this magnificent research center. I salute you for more than a century of service to Iowa and to our nation. I thank you, my friends, for a job well done. Your friend and proud fellow Eagle member, Tom Harkin, United States Senator.
Thank you very much, Mr. Larkin and Senator Harkin. Next, from Representative Dave Loebsack's office, please welcome Stephen Polsdofer.
Thank you, President Mason. Dear University of Iowa friends and colleagues and Fraternal Order of Eagles members, I'm sorry that I could not be there with you all to celebrate this generous donation. The Fraternal Order of Eagles recognizes that diabetes has become an increasingly serious problem for this country, affecting over 23 million Americans. Their pledge to donate $25 million for diabetes research at the University of Iowa represents extraordinary commitment and vision to greatly improve the health of our nation. The University of Iowa is consistently at the forefront of innovative research, and through this new partnership with the Fraternal Order of Eagles, I am confident that we will discover new ways to reduce the devastating effects of diabetes. Again, congratulations, and I wish you all the best as you move forward with this important and life-changing research. Sincerely, your Congressman, Dave Loebsack.
Again, thank you, Mr. Polsdofer and Representative Loebsack. I would tell you that earlier today, when I arrived back in my office, we also received a letter from Senator Grassley. While we're not going to read that this evening, we're going to be certain that the leadership gets that letter and has it as a memento of the sentiment from all of our federal delegations. So thanks again to the federal representatives and their staff for sharing these great words and thoughts today. I have to say that I couldn't be more excited as I look around this room today. It is palpable. Clearly, we are on the verge of something very, very special. As we formally name the Fraternal Order of Eagles Diabetes Research Center, we mark another major milestone on our way to opening one of the world's most important centers for research on this significant and devastating disease. Our hope, our goal is that our efforts here at the university, through unrelenting commitment, inspiring innovation, and boundless compassion, will lead to more effective treatments for diabetes and ultimately, the greatest aspiration of all, to a cure. In the past 2.5 years, the University of Iowa and the Eagles have become great partners and friends. The Eagles' visits to our campus are always occasions for celebration, and I understand you've had a pretty good celebration so far today. We want to keep that going. It's been a special joy for me to get to know the many members of the Eagles organization, the Fraternal Order, as well as the Auxiliary. The Eagles is a deeply committed group of visionary people. They are a positive inspiration to everyone here on our campus who is joining in this great undertaking, and I am always delighted for the opportunity to thank the Eagles once again for everything that you're doing to help us treat, prevent, and ultimately cure diabetes. Together, we are building a tremendous legacy that I know we will be mutually proud to share. It's still astonishing to state the foundation of our partnership, a pledge of $25 million from the Eagles to create the Fraternal Order of Eagles Diabetes Research Center at the University of Iowa. Thanks to the Eagles, we'll be able to focus our expertise on diabetes in innovative new ways, to create state-of-the-art laboratories, and attract rising young scientists to join us in this incredibly important work. The center will be an important anchor to our revolutionary Papa John Biomedical Institute. And at the moment, construction of that institute facility is underway right outside this building. That big hole in the ground out back is going to be something very, very special in the very near future. When it's completed, you'll all be very proud of one of the most innovative research facilities in the country, and everyone who steps inside will see the Eagles' name displayed prominently. But before that day, when we cut the ribbon, the Eagles' name will already be prominently linked to the studies and reports that our scientists are creating right now, as we speak. Studies that delve into how good cells go bad, how the heart of an unborn child is affected by her mother's diabetes, how the nerves in the kidney change with diabetes. We are very, very fortunate to have world-class Carver College of Medicine and UI hospitals and clinics training future physicians and researchers and conducting this advanced research right now. This research is making life better for everyone, not only here in Iowa, but all across the country and all around the world. Today we're celebrating the naming of a center, but I think a lot more than that. We are celebrating a shared vision. A vision for a brighter, healthier future for millions of people who suffer from this devastating disease, from diabetes, as well as the families and friends who love those people. So thank you. Thank you again for being with us today. Thank you for all you do, and thank you for being such a vital part of this incredible partnership. Thank you very much.
Thank you, President Mason. We're delighted that you have been such an important part of this work that we have done together for the last 2.5 years. Now we're delighted to be able to hear from some members of the Eagles organization who will speak on behalf of that organization. Let's start with Grand Worthy President Mike Lagerval, who joined the Ballard area in 172 in 1968. He's a dedicated Eagle and has served in many leadership roles within the organization. Welcome, Mike.
Thank you. My brothers and sisters, you can't believe how proud I am to be able to stand up here before you at this memorable occasion. You know, it's going to go down in history, our history, as one of the cornerstones of our fraternity. Many times the Eagles have stepped forward and put their name out to support something that helped all humanity. We've done that here today. I'm proud to say that the Fraternal Order of Eagles is partnered with a great university. You know, I was looking when I was sitting here a minute ago, and I was looking at this behind me. The Fraternal Order of Eagles Diabetic Research Center at the University of Iowa. Can you imagine what the receptionist is going to be when they answer that telephone? Somehow I feel that they're going to shorten that up a little bit. You know, I remember here 2.5 years ago, or 2 years ago, when Dennis Gilhausen was up here, he said, you know, out here is a field of dreams. And he says, we just have to make that a reality. And I'm here today to tell you it is a reality. The partnership of the University of Iowa could not have been a better fit. They have helped us in all ways. We can't thank you enough for everything. Sally, you've been the perfect host every time we've came here. We've had the opportunity to come here many, many times with our leaders throughout the United States and Canada and have been treated by the university just outrageous. It's great. And I might say that she did open up her home to the auxiliary officers, the Grand Auxiliary officers, to come over for a luncheon over there. And if that don't show true paternalism, nothing else will. Great job, Sally. I appreciate that. You know, in 2.5 years from now, I'd love to be able to be standing up here or sitting out there in the audience, well, whatever it may be, and help with the ribbon cutting of this great partnership that we've endowed. And that will happen. I know that each and every one of us that's in here today is going to make that reality happen. It will. I'm proud of it. I'm proud to be an Eagle. How about you guys? I am so much. Anyhow, my congratulations goes out to each and every one of you for showing up. I love the big turnout. I mean, this is fabulous. And I'm sure that between you and I, it impresses the University of Iowa as well. I'd love to show off what we're all about, and that we're an organization of people helping people, and it's just so great to be here with you. Thank you again.
You know, one of my favorite phrases of this partnership together has been, put on your lipstick and get it done. I am delighted now to introduce Grand Madam President Mary Myers. Mary joined the Flint Auxiliary in 1967, and she too has served within a number of offices at the local, state, regional, and international levels. Mary?
Yes, but of course that was when I was 3 years old. I joined the Eagles. I've been a member for 46 years, and I am so proud to be here today to represent not only myself, but the huge amount of fraternal order of brothers and sisters that are assembled here today. This is truly a celebration. It's truly a time of reflection. Reflection on many of those who have suffered and who have died of diabetes. My story is not unique today, brothers and sisters and guests. It probably has happened to many of you that are seated here today, to your families or your friends or your neighbors or even ourselves. But my mother, my father, my brother, all had diabetes and have passed away. Recently, my brother passed away, had lost both of his limbs. He was blind, and what he was most proud of is that he was able to serve in the service in the Korean War. They never knew he was a diabetic until he came home, and then they discovered that he had got diabetes, and he went through so much suffering, 10 years of dialysis, and many, many doctor's appointments from then on. He was a great person, and I admired him greatly, as many of you admire the people that you have seen suffer from this. But you know what? Today makes me so proud to be able to stand here and share with you this glorious opportunity, not only for the Fraternal Order of Eagles, but for everyone across the nation, across the world. And this will happen. And we will continue today, from this day forward, to complete our commitment to the university and to the diabetes and to the people that are afflicted with this disease. I'm so proud of each and every one of you that are here today for your contributions, and most of all, for your love and your care as people helping people of the Fraternal Order of Eagles. Thank you so much, and may God bless each and every one of you.
What a beautiful story. Thank you for sharing that with us. That's not an easy thing. We appreciate that very much, your gracious articulation of the sadness that comes with this disease and why we are so devoted to working toward that moment when we have the cure, and certainly between now and then, better treatments. No entertainer can move and excite an audience the way that Tony Orlando does. One of his exciting times in his life, of course, was the 1973 recording of Tie a Yellow Ribbon Around the Old Oak Trees, and he's one of America's most endearing and enduring stars. That became really an American anthem of hope and homecoming. And while you all know this well-loved classic, what you may not know is that Tony is also a dedicated member of the Fraternal Order of Eagles and a passionate supporter of diabetes research. Tony, please join me.
Well, this is a momentous occasion for me on many levels. I never saw high school. So to be able to be in a university such as Grand and with a great history, President Mason, as this incredible place has, my father, who is no longer with us, is looking down saying, well, you finally made it, kid. And I don't know who that doctor is up there, but it's good to see you. I'll tell you what. I'll give you a little history. I'll make it brief because there's a lot of people that can speak and do a lot of great things today for a great moment. I met Bob Hope in 1973. I was invited to come down to sing Tie a Yellow Ribbon to welcome home our POWs in Vietnam, Cambodia, and Laos. And I think the song may have been like 28 with a bullet. Wasn't number one. We didn't have our television show yet. Were you guys born yet? But he says no. Boy, is he lying. Anyway, the truth is Mr. Hope taught me a lot. And I remember him saying to me, you're going to sing this song for a long time, Tony. That opening line, I'm coming home, I've done my time, is every parent of every soldier's dream, wish, and prayer. And so all these years later, what a journey that song has brought me to. From 7 presidents of the White House that I've been able to perform for, the Queen of England, to be able to go to Iraq and perform in Afghanistan for our troops. I was also in Vietnam with Bob. It's been an amazing learning curve for me, what I've experienced from one little song. And I thought about this disease, diabetes. My mother, who's had her toe removed recently because of her diabetic situation, 85 years old, hanging strong, thank you. God's been good. But this disease is much like the song describes, Yellow Ribbon. It holds people prisoner. And what you've done here with this university and with the Fraternity of Eagles, who I'm so proud to be a part of, by the way, this is an organization that I hope we can hand down to future generations. This is the kind of thinking that America needs for many years to come. We can't let our children ever grow. To those of you who are in politics, let's teach our children that the ethic that this group from this generation has brought us should not die. This kind of work should continue on, where people gather together as American brothers and sisters and raise money to build a place like you're about to build on that hole in the back. But I thought about this disease. Now, for 31 years, I've been a vice president for MDA with Jerry. So I've seen what diseases can do. And we've been looking for a cure for a long time, as you know, with Jerry. And we haven't quite found the cure. But let me tell you what we did do with the research centers that he has done. Because of genetic science and because of the commitment for genetic engineering, much of the work that we know as DNA today came from the work from an organization like MDA. So some of the offshoots that will come out of this research center are not even begun to be discovered yet. To make life comfortable for those, maybe. To make a medicine that will be able to at least put them in a holding pattern until a cure is found. These are all important aspects and dynamics of what that building is going to do back there. I remember being close to a guy named Danny Thomas, who said to me, you know, and this is long before I was an Eagle, the Fraternity of Eagles gave us our first $1 million to build St. Jude's Research Center. The first $1 million that was raised by these folks for that research center. So far, my experiences with what's going to happen behind this building, the future is unlimited. The lives that will be saved is beyond words. The families that will appreciate the work that's done on this ground cannot even be translated in any kind of, or articulated in any speech. What we're doing here today, we can go on to wherever God takes us when we leave here and know we did good. We did something really good to help people, our brothers and sisters, mankind who suffer from this disease. And it's a horrific one. It's most of my friends who may have diabetes, I'll say, are you diabetic? They say, no, I'm borderline diabetic. Well, what does that mean? What do you mean by you're borderline? Mom, what do you mean you're borderline diabetic? Well, I'm not quite a diabetic. I'm almost a diabetic. Well, okay, let's make sure that almost a diabetic never gets to become diabetic. And that's what you're going to do here. And it's an honor that I am part of a collected room of people who are doing the kind of work that is about to happen in that hole behind this building as it's been described. Believe me, in 50 years of show business, I had some wonderful moments. I've had some glorious times. This is right up there with the greatest of all. Thank you for making me part of this today. Thank you so much. Now, I'm going to ask you all to do me. I don't need this. I don't need this. Yeah, I don't need this. Yeah, that's for news people to get that. All I need is this baby. Now, I want to make sure. I'm just going to start before you hit the song. I want to see how many of you really are born yet when that record was a hit. You ready? I'm coming home. I've done my. Thank you, God. They're old enough to remember. Hit it. The band is on a record. Hit it. Okay, come on. Come on. You have to sing this with me, Madam President. Come on now. Here we go. I'm coming home. I've done my time. I've got to know what is and isn't mine. Come on, doctor. Come on. Have you received my letter telling you I'd soon be free? Then you'll know just what to do if you still want me. Come on. Yeah, you still want. I dare you. Go ahead. Let me hear you. Go. It's been 3 long years. Do you still want me? If I don't see you ribbon round the old tree, I'll stay on the bus, forget about us, put the blame on me. If I don't see that yellow ribbon round the old tree. I found one guy who wasn't born yet, right there. There he is. Bus driver, please look for me. I couldn't bear to see what I might see. I'm really still in prison, and my love, she holds the key. A simple yellow ribbon need to set me, forget it, gyro and told her. Now, first line is all yours. Go ahead. So,
around the old.
Sit down. It's been 3 long years. Do you still want me? He knew it. If I don't see a ribbon round the old tree, I'll stay on the bus. Put the blame on me if I don't see that yellow ribbon round the old tree. Okay, here comes the big part now. Upstairs too. You ready? It's the cheering part. You know what I mean? Okay, here we go. Harmonica's done. Good. Nice job. Now the whole university is cheering, 'cause they can't believe what they see. The eagle has finally landed. Take it from me. I'm coming home. I'm coming home. Oh yeah, oh yeah. We're gonna tie 100 ribbons. Those beautiful ribbons. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Just like that. God bless you. Keep up the great work. Thank you for having me.
What great fun. You know, I worked as a disc jockey in high school, and I played that. It was great, and I sang along then, too. Thank you so much. What great, great fun. I appreciate that very, very much. I'm delighted now to welcome the very top guy in the Carver College of Medicine, University of Iowa Hospitals and Clinics. Jean Robillard is the University of Iowa Vice President for Medical Affairs. Please join me in welcoming him.
And you think I will sing? No way. In French, you're right. Well, good afternoon, and I can tell you, first of all, this is really an honor and quite a privilege to welcome all of you here today, next to where will be the Fraternal Order of Eagle Diabetes Research Center at the University of Iowa. And I'm sure that before you came this afternoon, you had a chance to see where the site, where the building will be, and really the progress that is going to this building. This is an exciting time, and quite an exciting time, and I want to thank all the Fraternal Order of Eagle for their extraordinary effort. They are the ones who have been able to identify the need for diabetes research, to understand its impact, and to have the vision to decide to fight this terrible disease. And really, based on what they've done for the last 100 years, there is no question that we will find a cure for that disease. And for those who don't know, really the Fraternal Order of Eagle are the one really that created Mother's Day, the beginning of the past century. They are the one also who were the driving force behind the Social Security Act in 1935, and so on and so on. I think you mentioned other of that a few minutes ago. This is now probably this organization is taking one of the biggest challenges they ever took. And this is with a partnership with us here at the University of Iowa. And this is a pivotal moment in history when there is great promise for making real progress in treating and preventing diabetes, a disease that has reached now epidemic proportion, where in this country there are more than 26 million, at least 26 million, affected with diabetes. The Fraternal Order of Eagle and their tremendous gift will allow to make new discovery to combat this devastating disease. The impact that this research will have on the life of patients and their family will be felt across this country and the world. This is a partnership between the Fraternal Order of Eagle and the University of Iowa. And each of you here today, and every Eagle across the United States and Canada, is truly part of our University of Iowa. And this is true also for you. We are honored and feel privileged that you choose us as your partner and entrust us with your vision. Now it is our responsibility to implement this vision, and I can assure you that we are committed to actualize and achieve this vision. All of us look forward to having you back in 2013 for the opening of the new building and the Fraternal Order of Eagles Diabetes Research Center at the University of Iowa. Again, your gift will positively touch the life of your family, your friend, your fellows Eagle, and the life of millions across this country and the world. Again, I want to thank you for what you've done, and what you're doing to improve the lives of those with diabetes and to find a cure for devastating disease. Thank you.
Our next speaker has been making people laugh for more than 25 years. He began his career on the college circuit in 1976 and went on to appear on The Tonight Show and Late Night with David Letterman, as well as his own comedy specials on HBO and Showtime. He has guest starred on television shows and appeared on the big screen, but some of his most important and meaningful work has been on behalf of diabetes research. Diagnosed with insulin-dependent diabetes in 1985, Tom Parks founded the Comedy Crusade Against Diabetes, which raised more than $500,000 for the American Diabetes Association. He served for 3 years on the American Diabetes Association's National Board of Directors and co-produced a video titled Diabetes, A Positive Approach. It's won top honors at 7 film festivals. Please join me in welcoming Tom Parks to the podium.
Thank you, Lynette. Thank you all for having me here. I am a diabetic. Dr. Robillard, je suis diabète. Yeah. Merci mille fois. I spoke 2 years ago in Reno for the Eagles, and I was asked if I would share a story, a personal story, like Mary's, that I told at that time. So my father is 89 this year, and he is celebrating, well, if he were here, he would say, I don't celebrate that, his 57th year as a type 1 diabetic. 57 years. He was diagnosed in April of 1954. Both my mom and dad are veterans of World War II, and they instantly became partners in taking care of him. And it was a family effort. We didn't eat different food. We all ate what my father ate. So that was my childhood with diabetes. Then, 26 years ago, I was touring, doing stand-up comedy around the country, and I was in Cape Girardeau, Missouri, suffering all the classic symptoms of type 1 diabetes, but I had managed to ignore it for 30 days. In Cape Girardeau, I could not ignore it any longer, so I went in to see a doctor, Dr. Zur. I will never forget that man. He did a lot of tests, went away, came back with a very long face, and he said, Mr. Parks, I've got some bad news. You've got diabetes. I looked at this guy and I went, wait a minute. I'm in Missouri and I've got diabetes? This is not a great week. So he's laughing very hard, and he said, you're taking this better than anyone I ever told. Well, that is my parents, and everything that I do to honor them for giving me that moment in my life where it wasn't a tragedy. It was something I knew I could handle, I knew I could deal with, and that's because of them. This thing that you're doing here has the possibility to do that for people, not just in America, around the world. I got a great opportunity. Dr. John Stokes brought me over here yesterday to meet some of the people who are doing research here. Dr. Chris Adams. Dr. Adams, are you here somewhere? Doctor, stand up. Dr. Chris Adams. And two of his research assistants, Daniel Fox and Cale Bongers. Raise your hands, guys, right there. They just look like party dudes. But these guys are here nights, they are here weekends, they are working on a thing called Compound A, which I will let the doctor explain to you sometime, take him aside. But It's an exciting thing in the treatment of diabetes and many other things. Obesity, it's got a lot of promise, and the tour was exciting. I got to see, they took me to see this, they do a lot of stuff on mice and rats, and they have a mini MRI machine, like a big MRI machine that you go in the hole and you get an MRI. They have a little tiny one for mice and rats, and they put the mice and a rat in a tube, and then they insert the tube through a hole that's about that big, and they put it in there, and they can do a mouse MRI in a minute. So they explained that to me, and I, of course, asked the obvious question of, what else can you put in there? And apparently that was the right question, because they gave me a lab coat and made me an honorary scientist. So I am just so proud to be a part of what the Eagles are doing here. Again, everybody has said it. They have done so much for the citizens of this country. This is for the world, and you can literally change the world with what you're doing here. Thank you very much, and I'll be there at the opening too.
Thank you so much, Tom. You know, my colleagues and I are fundraisers, so we have the privilege of working day in and day out on things that matter. And what I'd like to do right now is allow the Eagles to see the people in this room, the MDs, the PhDs, the research scientists, the lab assistants, those people who work on behalf of the Carver College of Medicine every day, 5 days, 7 days a week, 24 hours around the clock on behalf of curing diseases. Would you folks, if you're standing up, wave your hands. We've got a few white coats in the audience. If you're sitting down, stand up and let the Eagles acknowledge you for your amazing work. Stand up, John. These are the folks who are going to make it happen, and I'm really excited that they are here with us today, that you from the Fraternal Order of Eagles and the Auxiliary are here with us today, and that we have been able to celebrate this day together. Thank you so much. We've got some refreshments available outside in this beautiful tent. Please enjoy the rest of the afternoon in socializing and getting acquainted with one another and celebrating this dedication of the Fraternal Order of Eagles Diabetes Research Center at the University of Iowa.